Well, here's our baseball insider, Steve Phillips, and I've been talking his ear off about this whole World Series. I'm just blown away by everything that the Rangers have done. They're the 8th wild card team to win the World Series since they added the wild card. 3 decades ago, Steve, they added the wild card, so that in itself shocked me. But how is this Texas team able to go from battling from a playoff spot to just winning this whole thing and doing it in such convincing fashion?
I mean, here's the thing. They were a streaky team all season long. They were in first place in the AL West for about 140 days during the season. And then they slumped and they fell back. Remember, they came in, then they beat the Blue Jays. Then when they left the Blue Jays, they went and got swept by the Guardians during the course of the season. And this was a team that was up and down, but they got hot at the right time. How about winning 11 straight road postseason games? Absolutely remarkable what they did. You find out a lot more about people and teams when they face adversity. When everything's going right, it's easy to be a good teammate, easy to be a good player. But when things go wrong, and this team had so much adversity during the season with injuries, losing Jacob deGrom. Corey Seager was out for a month during the season. Adolis Garcia, who was so great in the regular season, he was out for a period of time too. Then he gets hurt in the postseason. They had so many different injuries. Max Scherzer getting hurt. Yet they always seem to overcome it. Somebody was there, and I give Bruce Bochy, their manager, so much credit for this team never thinking that anything was the straw that broke the camel's back. They persevered throughout, got hot at the right time, and what an amazing story. First World Series championship in franchise history.
Steve, you mentioned Bruce Bochy. What an unbelievable job, as you alluded to. Where does this put him among all-time great managers? Is he making his way toward the top now?
Yeah, there's no question. I think he's like 11th or 12th in wins right now. But he has 4 World Series championships. Remember, he had 3 with the San Francisco Giants, went into retirement, decided to take some time away. Chris Young, the general manager, president of operations, reached out to Bochy. He had played for him before, wanted to check his temperature about coming back in. They get him back in uniform. He does an exceptional job, that easygoing demeanor. Nothing was ever going to be that big a deal. He kept things under control. And right now, you can make an argument that if he's not the best manager in baseball, he's one of the top 3 or 4 ever.
Steve, of course I have to bring this back to the Blue Jays because that's what we do here at TSN. And we know that the Rangers were one of those teams that the Jays were battling down the stretch for playoff positioning. So when you really think about it, and you know that statistically, at least throughout the season, those two teams were pretty even, how much of a missed opportunity do you think this was for Toronto?
Yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it, right? The glass is half empty. What a failure. They didn't get it done. You know, they could have done it, and they just underachieved. They didn't perform like they could. Look at a team that does perform and what they can do. On the other side of it, the glass half full, they're not that far away. They're not that different than the Texas Rangers. The star players for the Blue Jays didn't quite deliver in the same way the stars like Corey Seager and Marcus Semien and Nate Eovaldi did for the Texas Rangers. But they're not that far away, and so there's a lot of ways you can look at it. I tend to think the Blue Jays are a really good team, and you could look at this Texas Rangers club with some inspiration to think a tweak here or there, and it could be Toronto popping bottles next year in the World Series.
There you go, Jays fans. Steve giving you a few silver linings, and now that the offseason's underway, we're going to talk to Steve as the Blue Jays start to make their moves. For now, Steve, thanks for this. We appreciate it.